New record number in COVID cases.
And how schools are struggling to stay open. Murrow News 8 starts now.
From the Northwest Public Broadcasting Studios on the campus of Washington State University, this is Murrow News 8.
Good evening, I'm Murrow.
And I'm Alex Viviano. Welcome to Murrow News 8. 48 new coronavirus cases were discovered last week, bringing the total up to almost 2,000 in Whitman County. An 80-year-old man passed away this week from the virus this week, bringing the total number of deaths in Whitman County to 21. All of them from patients over the age of 50. There are currently 5 Whitman County patients who are hospitalized with the virus, while all others are reportedly stable.
The positivity rate for COVID-19 testing at Pullman Regional Hospital was fairly increased. The positivity rate at Pullman Regional Hospital was 9.8% for the 2-week period ending on Tuesday, compared to the 8.6% from the previous 2-week average. There were 37 positive tests during that time compared to the prior 14 positive tests from 2 weeks ago.
Pullman School District is being forced to go to the reserves to cover $1.7 million in lost funding. 15 students have transferred out of the district, the majority of which have joined the Colfax School District, where students have returned to the classroom. Enrollment was already 162 students less than the projections. This decrease has cost the district an estimated $1.7 million in state funding from the current fiscal year. Last week, Pullman School Board decided to push the reopen of in-person classes to January 4th, 2021 by a 3-2 vote.
Parents and students in support of the option for a return to face-to-face instruction. More than 70 parents, students, and community members gathered on either side of Pullman's Grand Avenue on Monday for K-12 schools in the city to return to in-person instruction more quickly than planned. In a meeting on Wednesday, the Pullman School Board approved a plan to shift from an online format to a hybrid form of instruction, starting with kindergarten through first grade on January 4th, with higher grade levels added every couple of weeks.
Principals from schools throughout Pullman School District have made a plea to the Pullman School Board trustees. These principals say many of their students and their families are struggling with online learning. Students are expected to return to the classroom on January 4th in a hybrid format, but parents have the option to keep their students online full-time. Thursday's school board meeting was open to the public, where parents were mixed on whether or not they wanted their children to return in person. Pullman is the only school district in Whitman County that has yet to return in person.
Hospitals in Spokane say that they are prepared for a new surge of new COVID-19 patients. Both Spokane County and Washington State are considering record-breaking new daily case counts. In the past week, Spokane County has repeatedly shattered its old records when it comes to new daily cases. It's been the worst week of the pandemic by that. November 7 saw more than 347 cases, nearly double the previous high.
As COVID cases continue to rise in Coeur d'Alene, school leaders say they have had the trouble finding enough substitute teachers to meet the demand caused by the pandemic. On Thursday, 91 staff members were not in school for COVID-related reasons. 27 had reportedly tested positive and were in isolation as of Thursday, and the other 64 were in quarantine due to either exposure or symptoms caused by the virus. Administrators have been trying to fill over a dozen substitute teacher positions across the district. The number of available substitute teachers is already down this year. Coeur d'Alene Schools Communications Director Scott Mabin cited various reasons for this, such as substitute teachers moving to part-time and some did not feel comfortable working in person during this pandemic. To fill this growing need, this district has been conducting weekly interviews with potential new hires, had administrators fill in for missing teachers, and even combined some classes. A winter weather advisory is in effect as a snowstorm has hit Pullman today. There's an expected 3 inches of snow expected, as well as 35-mile-per-hour winds by the afternoon and into the overnight hours.
Speaking of snow, the holidays are right around the corner and some people are already in the holiday spirit. Murrow News 8 reporter Ava Wainhouse has the story.
We all could use some early holiday cheer this year, and John Fox's home is just the place to find it. With his wife loving Christmas more than anything, their holiday decorations stay up all year, every year.
We've had people come up and knock on the door, see how much they enjoyed them. I had one night we were sitting in the living room and somebody knocked on the door and they give us a plant and a card. She said she'd been, I can't remember how many years they had lived here. And every time she goes down the street, she gets excited because she sees our lights. Her son was over the other night. He was marveling at the backyard. I love that backyard.
People passing by outside enjoy the lights on the front of the home, but don't realize just how much decoration is inside. 3 Christmas trees, including an upside-down one, bring joy to the Fox family all year.
That's the wife's desire. Makes her happy.
Whether you're walking on the sidewalk or driving on the street, when the sun sets, you'll see John's home shining bright and his neighbor Pat Orn's home completely dark.
I put up some lights, but years before I have not because of weather or just no time to do it. With the kids, we do Christmas tree inside the house at least, you know, as minimal, but not as much as I would like. We just don't do it, but we enjoy theirs.
Christmas is just around the corner, but seems to already be in the Fox home. This is Ava Wainhouse, Murrow, News 8.
The shooter of 2 bullets fired into an apartment on College Hill has yet to be found. According to Pullman Radio News, 2 shots were fired from a vehicle in apartment line around 9:30 p.m. on Monday. A woman in a nearby apartment on Northwood Drive told police that a bullet was shot into her unit through a wall near her bed. Anyone with information about the case is asked to contact the Pullman Police Department.
With the first home Cougar football game taking place tomorrow, there might be some questions about what is and what isn't allowed for this year's season. We have Murrow News 8 reporter Ariel Yakabazi live outside Martin Stadium with some updates on what regulations are in place. Ariel?
Thanks, Alex. I'm outside of what would normally be a very, very packed Martin Stadium. As you can see, there's no one outside. It is the day before game day, but game day is going to look so much different this year with coronavirus guidelines, but that have been put in place by the Pullman Police Department. There are 3 things that the Pullman Police Department and WSU has set in place to make sure everybody, stays safe during this time. So the first thing that I want you to keep in mind is that there's going to be no spectators for any of the games, whether it's a home game or any Pac-12 game, that is, no spectators will be allowed in any of the stadiums. So everybody's really encouraging people to stay at home to watch the games. The second guideline is no tailgating is allowed, especially on the WSU Pullman campus. So that means that all parking lots will be closed off during game days, and every recreational vehicle that comes by is going to be sent somewhere else. So no parking on campus, no tailgating at all is allowed on campus. And then the third guideline is that the Pullman Police Department and WSU is really encouraging people to stay at home to watch the game. So really support your fellow Cougs from home and stay safe. And even if you think your favorite spot to view the game outside of the stadium is available, it will not be. No spectators are allowed on campus or in any of the stadium viewpoints. So make sure you stay at home, get some snacks ready, and get your drinks ready at home, and make sure to tailgate from your garage, but there's no tailgating allowed on campus. That's all I have from you guys live from Martin Stadium. I'm Ariel Yakabazi, Murrow News 8. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Ariel. We'll look forward for another win. When we come back, find out what your Thanksgiving plans could look like.
And updates on the presidential election. Murrow News 8 will be right back.
This is the story of a boy who was very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. It made him feel uncomfortable. One day, he found out he had something called autism. His family got him help, and slowly, he learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Days, months,
Hey, I'm Jim from across the street.
years,
I'd like to give you this.
a lifetime can rush by without realizing what we're missing. We lose some of the best moments, some that may never repeat,
Come on.
or detach from people around us. Our loved ones grow used to this pattern, but it doesn't have to be that way. We have a choice to take action. It's never too late to live a full life again. Hear how many of us Vietnam veterans have managed our mental health and reconnected with our families. Visit maketheconnection.net to find out more.
I'll never forget the day our landlord called and said, read your lease. No pets allowed. My owner tells him my dog ate the lease, but that didn't work. And now I'm stuck in a shelter. But this pit bull is ready for a new crib. I'm loving, loyal, and play well with others. So don't be intimidated by all my muscles, because the biggest one I have is my heart. That's right, I said it.
President Trump has been silent on COVID-19 since the election. According to Moscow Pullman Daily News, the president has yet to weigh in on the recent rise in COVID cases. Instead, focusing his energy towards his allegations of voter fraud, President-elect Joe Biden has already taken steps and has said, quote, "We could save tens of thousands of lives if everyone would just wear a mask for the next few months. Please, I implore you, wear a mask," end quote.
Governor Inslee urges people to avoid Thanksgiving gatherings in order to prevent a spike in coronavirus cases. Inslee spoke Thursday, encouraging Washingtonians to stay home for the holidays as the number of COVID cases continues to rise. Inslee says new restrictions will be implemented this week, but has not said if they will affect local businesses. Staying home has taken a toll on students and on faculty. It's been nearly a year since the first COVID case first started. Marissa Luzano has the story.
Many WSU students are getting ready to return home for Thanksgiving break, but due to COVID-19, students and the university are handling things a little different this year.
This year my Thanksgiving is going to look a lot different. It's just going to be me and my parents, and I am a little bit nervous going home just because I don't want to infect my parents or bring COVID home.
I am worried. I have gotten tested and tried to be really careful, but I still feel like even getting tested, there still can be a chance that I'll contract it before I go home and then bring it to my family at home.
I spoke with Phil Weiler, WSU Vice President for Marketing and Communication, about the university's recommendations for students this break.
You are staying in Pullman. We ask you stay in Pullman for the rest of the semester and not travel. If you do end up wanting to go home and get together with family and friends, we ask that you really pack up the stuff that you need throughout the rest of the semester and through the winter break, and not plan on returning to Pullman until January for the spring semester.
So if you are leaving for break, Phil says make sure you pack everything you need for the rest of the semester, including all of your clothes, all of your books, and essentials like chargers.
I've started packing because I am planning on just being home all of December and not coming back until second semester, so that's kind of overwhelming because it's a lot to deal with, and Thanksgiving is coming up really quick.
I am not coming back. I'm staying home for the whole rest of November and December, so I've started packing up all my stuff, kind of pretty much just moving fully out of living in Pullman and moving all the way home for that long.
For students who would like to get a COVID test before they go home, free testing is still available on campus. With Murrow News 8, I'm Sydney Gardner.
President Trump has won a legal victory in Pennsylvania, albeit a small one. Pennsylvania Judge Mary Hannah Leavitt has ordered counties not to count a small number of mail-in and absentee ballots that had not been verified within 6 days after the November 3rd election. The Trump campaign has called the decision a win, but this decision is unlikely to change the outcome in Pennsylvania. President-elect Joe Biden's lead is an estimated 60,000 votes, but this decision is only expected to affect around 10,000 ballots. Director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, Dr. Anthony Fauci, talked to CNN's Chris Cuomo about how he sees the Thanksgiving holiday playing out during the coronavirus pandemic and how Americans can stay safe during this pandemic. Fauci says, quote, "We are starting to see the Midwest, the Northwest, an uptick in test-positive cases, which tends to be a predictor that you are going to have surges," end quote. Director of the National Many WSU students are getting ready to return home for Thanksgiving break, but due to COVID-19 students, a special prosecutor announced that the Indianapolis police officer who shot and killed Dresden Reed will not face charges. Special prosecutor Rosemary Corr said that the grand jury could not find probable cause to change Indianapolis Metropolitan Police Officer DeJohn Mercer of a crime. Sergeant Grace Sibley, a spokesperson for the department, said she hopes the city can, quote, "move forward, improve the relationship between our officers and neighborhoods, and bring us closer to healing the division in our community." According to a report, North Korea may be militarizing dolphins. According to the photos, it shows that the North Korean program dates back to at least October 2015. The report said another base further up the river on the edge of town seems to be where the dolphins are being bred. The U.S. Navy pioneered the use of marine mammals, including dolphins and sea lions, for military purposes, such as spotting mines and locating enemy swimmers. Coming up next, how long will the snow last?
Murrow News 8 will be right back.
My mother was always very familiar with her neighborhood, but one day she stopped at the stop sign for much longer than usual, and she didn't know whether she should go forward or turn, and she wasn't even really sure where she was at. It was very unsettling for her.
I felt so much better after my son told me, "Mom, I don't want you to worry or be afraid. I'll be there for you and we'll figure it out."
This is the story of a boy who didn't talk for a long time. The boy liked things to always be the same. Any changes would scare and upset him. The unknown was an unfriendly place. The boy was very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where they couldn't get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. He wasn't trying to be mean, it just made him feel uncomfortable. Sometimes he would flap his arms again and again.
One day, I found out I have something called autism. My family got me help. Slowly, I found my voice and learned all the ways I could live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Me and my boy Matt had it good. He had catnip that was off the hook. But one day, he brings a girl home, and she's allergic to cats. Every sneeze was a nail in my coffin. Now I'm in a shelter. It's decent, but they don't even have Wi-Fi.
Most of Whitman County has been hit pretty hard with snow today. We have Kylie Gibson on the weather wall today. Kylie, what is going on with all the snow?
You're right, Alex. We did wake up to a bit of a surprise this morning here on campus. As you can see, pulling up the video that we have from campus this morning. If we can get that to work. If not, that's okay. So today we woke up to a bunch of snow here on campus, and it turned out to be more than we were expecting. Oh, here's the video. Here's campus full of snow this morning. Not too bad. Starting to melt slowly as we go throughout the day. Moving on to today. We have a low of 32 and a high of 41, with winds ranging around 17 miles per hour, but luckily that snow is starting to melt, so that's a good thing. And then moving on to tomorrow, we have a low of 34 and a high of 40 with 9-mile-an-hour winds. Now tomorrow it's going to be a little bit of sleet on the ground due to the snow that we had all throughout this morning. With the rain picking up throughout the day today and tomorrow, it's just going to be a little wet outside tomorrow. And then moving over to our state map, as you can see, Olympia, a low of 38 and a high of 50 with rain. Same with Seattle. Over to Yakima, a low of 28 and a high of 49 with more rain over there as well. Moving over to Tri-Cities, a low of 38 and a high of 54, raining there as well. Now Spokane and Pullman, about the same weather with snow and rain mixed in the forecast. Moving over to Pullman's 5-day forecast, as you can see here. Tomorrow there's rain and snow in the forecast with a low of 34 and a high of 40. Sunday, Monday, rain in the forecast, luckily no more snow coming our way. Tuesday is cloudy with a high of 52 and a low of 41. And Wednesday, just rain in the forecast as well. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Kylie.
Thank you, Kylie. Alex, how do you feel about the snow today?
I really hate all of it, honestly. I'm glad to see it's all melting because I'm really not a fan of it. Wearing boots, having to
I thought you
work
would be
in it.
excited. Did you drive over here?
I did not drive. I walked. I've had cars get in the snow. Didn't want to drive in it.
All right. Game day is right around the corner. Andrew Bartlin has your sports coverage.
Murrow News 8. We'll be right back.
was an old woman who lived in a shoe. She had so many children, she didn't know what to do. She gave them some broth without any bread and kissed them all soundly and put them to bed. Hunger is a story we can end. End it at feedingamerica.org.
So, I just moved in with his family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
Good evening, I'm Andrew Bartline with your sports. John Wilner reported one COVID case on WSU football's roster, confirmed by Theo Lawson at the Spokesman Review. The player is unnamed, his position group unknown. The Pac-12 had to cancel 2 football games already this weekend due to large amounts of unavailable players. Lawson, however, has reported that this player, through Twitter, has followed protocol and will be cleared to play Saturday. And that ball game this weekend, of course, it's a hosting of the Oregon Ducks. WSU had 32 unavailable players a week ago, though head coach Nick Rolovich says many should be returning. Like his predecessor before him, he does not talk about injuries. Oregon notably beat WSU last season in a time-expiring field goal, though. The Cougs have gotten the best of Oregon the previous 4 meetings.
On their offensive side of the ball, I think their downhill run game and their tailbacks are incredibly talented. Defensively, I think they're very athletic in the back end and disruptive in the core.
And took his hot hand to Twitter, where one of his best strengths, trash talk, got a little bit better. The head man welcomed the Ducks to what he calls his pond. Ranked 11th in the nation, the Ducks are coming off a 35-14 win over Stanford. Find that 4 p.m. kickoff from Martin Stadium on Fox Sports. And the 6-2 Seahawks traveled to L.A. in a showdown with the Rams Sunday. L.A. trails Seattle by 1 game in the standings, and some falters, defensive chief among them, don't seem to be bothering Russell Wilson too much. The quarterback seems to be looking forward.
Play these guys. It's always a great challenge, and we always look forward to the battle. We know it's going to be a great game, and you know, I think they fly around. They do a lot of great things. They got a lot of great players. We have a great offense too, and they got a great defense, and it'll be a great game.
Still leading the NFC West, Seattle has lost 2 of their last 3 games, both on the road. Catch that kickoff from SoFi Stadium, 1:30 p.m. on Fox. And the 84th Masters kicks off this week without spectators. Tiger Woods is defending his 5th jacket from Augusta National. He already finds himself in the hunt after 18 holes. Here's our current leaderboard right now, just before we went live. At 4 under par, Woods is tied in 14th with fellow American Patrick Reed and Brooks Koepka. Dustin Johnson leads the field at 8 under through 13 today, while reigning PGA Player of the Year Justin Thomas trails just 1 back. And I saw before I hopped on that he's now tied in first at 9 under with Johnson. That leaderboard's getting tight. Over half the field is under par. Just 6 strokes separates Johnson from DeChambeau down there in 27th place. And Hamayan, I don't know if you are a big golf guy, but we got to talk about the duck call Rolovich. One of the funnier things I've seen from a coach.
I'm in legendary.
He's funny. I mean,
Yeah.
he keeps getting on Twitter a lot. He's been throwing jabs at UW. He's pretty vocal. He's a lot different than Leach, but I kind of like it. Do you like seeing a coach get out there and have some fun?
He's pretty engaged. He's pretty active on Twitter as well.
Yeah, he
Andrew,
fits the
are
culture
you
here
excited
well.
about tomorrow's game?
I mean, I can't go, which is a bummer, but I'll watch it.
Yeah.
I'll be there. It'll be a good time.
Let's do it. A once-in-a-lifetime experience happening next month.
And what you should look out for when we come back.
Days, months,
Hey, I'm Jim from across the street.
years,
I'd like to give you this.
a lifetime can rush by without realizing what we're missing. But it doesn't have to be that way. We have a choice to take action. Visit maketheconnection.net to find out more.
Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding. Why did the girl ask the mushroom to dance? Because he was a fun guy. What do you call a pig that knows karate? Pork chop. So how does a tissue dance? Put a little boogie on it.
A massive meteor shower will be taking place next month. The Leonid comet will be passing by the Earth through cloud of debris causing up to 40 meteors per second. The meteor will be passing by Earth in December 13th to the 14th. Well, Alex, have you ever seen a meteor shower before?
I've not. I've seen them all over TV and stuff, seen them in pop culture, never seen them in real life. Have you?
Nah, I haven't seen. I do have a big telescope which my dad gifted me on my birthday, but I never used it.
Well, you can use it next
We
month, apparently.
should set it up now. We should
Sounds
definitely
like a cool
set it
thing to
up
watch.
now. Thanks for watching. If you missed anything in this or any of our previous newscasts, you can always watch us on our YouTube channel.
More news can be found on nwpb.org/mn8. You can follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Have a good night.